a seagull just flew into that window and it absolutely scared the life out of me. Anyway, that's not important. If you're a business owner and you want to grow your social media presence and you've seen videos going, hey, do this one simple thing, this is the magic, blah, 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 or watch Gary Vaynerchuk videos. Gary V makes it all look so easy and sound so essential. And if you're watching those with a healthy dose of skepticism, that is why I've made this episode of the Business Amplifier podcast. I have a very special guest on this video. Here's somebody who's read those books, followed the instructions, and is going to share what the results are. So I've deliberately made this intro a bit lo-fi to show you this isn't one of those big polished things that you're watching that ultimately are just trying to sell you something. This is an episode that tells you the truth about what happens if you follow what the likes of Gary Vaynerchuk actually tell us to do. Ready? We can do it. Seriously, seagulls are big. That was loud. It's okay. I've checked out the window and it flew off. But Matt, I've got it right. I'm going to become really rich from this. I'm gonna start some social media things. I don't, it doesn't matter what they're called. I don't need the details. And I'm just going to just put stuff on them and the money's just going to come pouring in. I own a business. I mean, what could be more interesting to other people in the world than me posting my junk all over social media?
Yeah.
So if I really believed 100% of that, how much trouble would I be in?
I mean, I don't know, because you can just post stuff on the internet. Like, it shouldn't be junk, but you can definitely make a really successful business by just posting social media content.
So this is why we're here today. The theme today, we're doing away with our 3 things that we normally do because Matt came up with such a brilliant title. Do you want to tell us the title, or shall I? We spoke about it a little while ago. I can say it if you can't fully remember.
I mean, is it 0 to 295,000 followers?
Then
Is
the
that it?
secret, the secret of social media growth. I had to take a shifty little look over at my notes there,
Yeah.
but that's the one. So if you're listening to this, I mean, surely you're hooked by now, aren't you? So Matt, tell us more. Tell us about how we do it.
Oh man. So I think before I tell you how to do it, I need to tell you why I started doing it.
Ooh.
So in early 2023, so January 11th, 2023, my business was very much struggling. I'd read a couple books, or not a couple, a ton of business books, as we all do as business owners. You know, you're like, what's the secret? Somebody has a secret out there. They publish this book. I really hope this book solves all my problems.
There's lots of people with secrets writing lots of books.
Yeah. And, most of them, it's like, okay, that's good in theory, but in practice, I don't know, like that. I don't think that's going to work. So 2 books that I read were Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk, which is all about social media and how it's like the greatest time to be a business owner in history. Because you have all these, these free platforms that will literally advertise your business for you. And then I read another book called The One Thing, which is like the moral of the story, or like the point of the book is, what is one thing you can do every single day to hit your 1 year, 5 year, 10-year goal? And for me, reading both those books kind of back to back at the same time, I was like, oh, I can start posting on social media every single day. And, either I'm going to prove these guys right or prove these guys wrong, because there's nothing I hate more than going on Instagram or TikTok or any of these platforms and seeing some young 20-something kid saying, oh, I became a millionaire by posting these videos. Here's how you could do it too. Buy my course that shows you how to do this.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like one of those MLM kind of schemes, basically. So my business was really struggling in late 2022, early 2023. I had just parted ways with my biggest client, which was like $250,000 a year. And I was like, shit, what do I do? Like, I need more business. And up until that point, I was a referral only business, meaning if people weren't referring me, or if it wasn't the right time, I didn't know if I was going to be, gaining clients or losing clients the next month, which is really hard to predict. Do I need more staff? Do I need less staff? Do I need this software, this expensive software, or can I pause it? Like, it was really impossible. So I set off on the journey to post 1 video a day on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, basically all the platforms that accept video, every single day. And I was going to do it for a year. And like I said, I was going to prove these guys right or prove these guys wrong, because you know what? I hate bullshit. And even at the end of the year, if I could just use this as a case study to be like, this doesn't work, I would have been happy.
I saw Gary Vaynerchuk, or Gary V. He sort of seems to flip
Yeah.
between the two names. I saw him at a conference just a couple of weeks ago. So
Amazing.
after we arranged this episode, and he got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I think he's like 200 grand or something for like the
200 to
hour.
£300,000 for an hour's work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
isn't that amazing?
Tony. I think it's Tony Robbins, or no, who's the guy who wrote 4 Hour Week? Ferriss.
Oh, Tim. Oh my God, what's his
Tim
name?
Ferriss.
Tim Ferriss. Yes.
He's now £1 million for a 30-minute session.
Wow.
So anyway, we're going off
Talk
track.
about the 4 hour week, eh?
I know. So Gary V was up there swearing and cussing a lot as he is wont to, and he was very much kind of do it. It's effing free. Just
Yeah.
And I've been creating video for dear God since the late 80s, since we had to like jury rig 2 VCRs together. So I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make video, and I've been pounding it out there. But I'd love to know how you got started. I'd love to know what the moment is where you suddenly thought, okay, I've hit something here.
Okay, so I started posting, like I said, on January 11th, 2023. You can scroll back. All the videos are there. I haven't deleted anything. And it's the exact moment when I was like, I need to start posting. That's when I made that first video. I was like halfway through one of the chapters in the one thing. And I was like, I'm going to start right now. Cause it's like, start right now. Don't wait. Like, what are you doing? And
you're doing reading this book. Go on. Naff off.
Yeah. I don't think they said it in the book, but it was like I felt at that moment like put down the book and go make a video. And it was the videos like I don't care what you're doing, like put down your your phone, put down whatever, and go make a video and post it to the public. Like this is your kind of signal to start doing that. And it was really a message to myself like, oh, I'm committing to doing this. And since then, like I haven't done every single day. But the first year, certainly, I did every single day. And actually, 3 months in, I wasn't seeing results, by the way. So 3 months in, I posted, was at like 90 videos. And I'm like, I got nothing, like 200, 300, 400 followers. Nobody really gives a shit. Nobody's watching these videos. And I'm like, you know what? I need to cut my learning curve. I need to make better content. I'm going to start posting 3 videos a day. And it was a struggle to do 1 video a day. I'm like, how does somebody come up with that many topics? Like, that is insane. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. I remember I was sitting in the backyard with a friend of mine. He's like, don't you think you're posting too much already? And I'm like, I don't think I'm posting enough.
So which networks are we talking about at this point? You said that you're still posting to anywhere that will take it?
Yeah, but like all the most popular platforms, like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, LinkedIn kind of thing, Facebook. Threads wasn't around at the time, but now Threads. So I was posting the videos on those platforms. Primarily, like my focus was Instagram and TikTok because I was like, these are the 2 platforms, right? And if I had time, I would post on the other platforms. But so I posted 3 times a day for another 3 months. So we're 6 months in. We're at about June now, and I'm up to 1,500 followers. And I'm like, wow, this is like, that's a lot of followers. I'm going to be an influencer, but also like, I'm so tired of doing this. It's like so much work,
so much success, so much horrible success.
But like 1,500 followers, like I had made like 600 or not 600, like 300 videos. Right. So I'm like, I should have way more than 1,500 followers.
So
like
how long are these videos? How long are these videos that you make?
30 seconds to a minute, minute and a half. Yeah. So, and all my content is like educational, digital marketing, how to do it yourself kind of thing. And so I was ready to give up in June, but I was like, you know what? I made this promise to myself. I'm going to do this for a year. So I have a proper case study to be like, this stuff works or this stuff doesn't. And at this point, I was like, this doesn't work, right? I'm going to show these guys that this doesn't work. And about a week later, I had a video go viral, get 1 million views. I went from 1,500 to 15,000 followers very quickly within a week. And then I had another video the following week go viral. So between June and the end of the year, I ended up getting like 100,000 followers.
This is really interesting to me because I've had things go viral on TikTok, but obviously TikTok is algorithm first, and other platforms are still follow account first.
No, No, it's like every platform is like has like a TikTokification that has happened or is happening, including
Okay, so
Instagram.
they've all gone that way, which does make it changes the game
Yeah.
massively. So one of my theories, and I'm being completely genuine here, I'm not being like
Yep.
podcast host. Sometimes you have to go, "Hey, I don't understand this. Can you explain?" I'm genuinely curious about this. I have a theory that people iterate and improve when they do something repetitively. I mean,
Yeah.
it's true. That's not exactly a shocking theory. Like, wow, that man's so insightful. And I
No, it
think
is though.
with videos, if you're creating that many videos, you're practicing. It's like tennis. It's like anything like that. So you suddenly hitting something that gets 1 million views. It's not really, as I understand it, it's unlikely to be, I just did this one. You know, those YouTube videos say, do this one simple thing and you'll get
Yeah.
a billion followers and Bill Gates will sob on your shoulder or whatever the bizarre
Yeah.
promise is. So did something click in your mind, or was it just that? Was it just that was the day at which you got it?
That was the day. It was an accident. I was making videos similar to what I was doing, and I did something slightly different. I had like
Oh.
more of a hook at the beginning of the video, but like I didn't try to do this. This like it just happened. And a lot of people will like they'll post for 30 days and have something that hits and get followers and all this kind of stuff. But for me, I don't know if I'm a little slow, a little dumb. I don't know what it is, but I'm dedicated. So something happened, and I had run a previous business that was an online publication, which is a fancy way of saying blog. Um, and we back then, like we were really struggling when we first started that business. Like we weren't getting that much traffic to the website. And then one day, all of a sudden, we had an article. This is like 2014, an article go viral. And we were like, whoa, what the hell? Like, how did that go viral? Like, we've been writing this kind of content this whole time.
Mm.
And it's just what we did there is like we analyzed like every word, the title, the image, basically the hook. Was there a curiosity gap? All this kind of stuff. And when I had a video go viral on Instagram, I was like, oh, I need to do the same thing that I did like 6, 7, 8 years ago, whatever that was. And or maybe it was like not a decade ago, like 8 years ago. And so I was just like, okay, why? I need to make more videos like this. I need to say
Mm.
the same first line. Maybe it's the cadence that I said it. Maybe it's like how close my face was to the camera. Was it the topic? Was it like, did I show my screen? Did I not show my screen? How quick were the cuts? Right. So it's looking at all of that stuff and being like, let's make more stuff like this. And, over time that evolves where it's like, okay, that exact strategy doesn't work as well as it did anymore.
Mm.
Now I need to make a different kind of video. So now I'm making videos where I'm like, basically engaging my wife, and I'm like, hey, can you record me telling this tip while I make a protein shake? But also, can you say like, hey, you're a freaking genius? And then I go, what? Why? And then she goes, tell them what you told me. Right. So it's engaging people in like a totally different hook. It's a totally different visual. I'm busy doing something, but I'm giving you this like really crazy tip. And it's not even crazy. It's like really easy, obvious tip that I've said in other videos that have not done well. Right. So it's like, is it the actual like what I'm saying? Is it the framing of everything and all that kind of stuff? But anyways, all of that to say, I'm sure you're curious as to what revenues looked like before, what they looked like after, how social media changed my life. Or should
Go
we just
for it.
not? Should we not talk about
Nah,
this?
let's leave that out. I'm more interested in the dog now. Hello, dog. I'm sorry, anyone not watching this, and people audio
Yeah,
only. Well, I think it's more of a giant hound than a dog, really. The size
yeah,
of that,
no, she's a dog. She's
gorgeous.
like 50 pounds. There's actually two dogs on the couch. Hold on,
Oh,
just for
that's it.
you,
That,
just for
that
you. There's two dogs there.
all right. I thought it was just one
Yeah.
really long dog. Right. So we've teased people long enough now. So what difference did this make when you start to get into when you tipped over 100,000?
Yeah. So pre-posting on social media, I was doing about 500,000, maybe quarter mil in a year. After I started posting, after that first year, well, I think we hit the million mark the first year I started posting, and then after that, the next year was like closer to 1.5 to 2, and this year we're on track to do like 2 plus. So it's like it's really wild. it really can have a huge impact. And it's like, I'm not selling anything on social media. And the whole point of jab, 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 right hook is the jabs are the free content, and the hook, that punch is you trying to sell. And people, the whole theory is people won't mind if you sell if you're giving them so much value.
I think we're at a really interesting time at the moment, and social isn't my main thing, but like a lot of people, I've been doing this for nearly 30 years, so I know a little bit. And I think trust has become such an important thing. It's always been important, but just the last few months, I can only really speak to the UK here. It has become so important that if you do try and overtly sell, you're not going to offend anyone. It's more that you just don't need to. I say to people when I sort of coach them on posting content on LinkedIn or just sort of using LinkedIn, you don't have to keep, I call it the snooker ball in the sock analogy. You don't have to keep hitting people around the head with the pool ball and the sock.
Yeah.
Because every bit of content you create, it says what you do right underneath your name. And same thing with any social platform. They all say what you do. So just give and give and give. So it's really, I really like hearing tales like yours. These are only short episodes, so if someone's well, we're already like 5 minutes over. If somebody is listening to this going, oh right, here we go again, another one of these guys, I want to make it clear that you didn't come on this podcast to sell anything at all. I really value that you gave us your time. But if one of those really skeptical people has listened to this episode and they've got the memory of a goldfish, let's just assume that. I'm not saying they have. Our listeners and viewers are very intelligent people.
Yeah.
But they can only retain one piece of information. As they wander off and go and watch a video about cats or something after this one, what's the one thing you think they should remember?
Show up every day. Like, if you show up every day, if you spend 4 hours every day showing up for yourself and for your business, it will be impossible for you to fail.
So, thank you very much, Matt. How cool is that? Seeing somebody who read the advice, listened to the advice, took it in, and most importantly, stuck with it. I think that's the key part of the message of this episode. The one thing you've got to remember, as Matt said, is show up consistently every day. Stick with it. Don't expect instant results. This is the complete opposite of the hustle culture. It's the complete opposite of all those YouTube videos going, do this one thing and blah, blah, blah. Nuts to those guys. Do what Matt did. That's what works. That's what actually works. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to say like, I'm going to say subscribe, and I'm going to say tell your mum.